Okay. And let me see here. Um all right, give me a second. Uh all right. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. All right. Um Thank you guys for coming on the board from TikTok. So hopefully you guys can make it in. Shalom. All right. And let's just do a test off my phone to make sure we are good. Just make sure we are good. And let's just do a test off my phone to make sure. Yep. Looks good to me. Sounds good to me. All right. Let me know in the comment sections if I'm good. Shalom. Yahawashi Yahawashi. Streamlab. Oh, sorry, brother. Streamlab. Yes. Yeah, I was using StreamYard. Sorry. So, but I will try Streamlabs. So let me know if I sound clear to you guys, if you guys can see me, if I'm coming through. Like I said, I'm very new to this. So I'm just trying to make it easier for everyone. Um, great. Yeah, because I'm looking on my phone and I seem to be coming in all right on my phone. All right, loud and clear, beautiful, kind. All right. So first and foremost, as always, we have to give praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, better known as Great Millstone, who have taught me this 144% truth. Peace and salutations unto the elect that be like the speckled bird that are scattered across the four corners of the earth amongst the heathen nations. Okay. And shalom to you, Akim, all right, and Akwath, all right, especially Akim that are risking their lives and freedom every day, pushing this word and truth and sincerity. All right, to you, I say shalom. And today I wanted to just do a quick impromptu lesson going into the chariots of the Heavenly Father, known as also known as the chariots of the heavenly host. Okay, and in modern terms, language in the English, people would refer to them as UFOs. Okay, unidentified foreign objects, or UAPs, which is unidentified aerial phenomena. All right, so basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share my screen, get a few precepts. Like I said, this is not going to be a long lesson. I want to just stick to the script, stick to the point. I don't want to digress and go overboard like that. So without further ado, all right, welcome. And what I'm going to do is share my screen. All right. And let me see here. Which one do I want to do? Actually, let me just do the entire screen. We'll do it that way. All right. And you brothers can let me know. All right. Beautiful. Let me just once again check this. Make sure I'm good. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to start off right here in the book of Ezekiel. All right. And the reason why I wanted to start off in the book of Ezekiel, because it actually gives us the actual visions, all right, of the angels, but also it goes into what is described as Ezekiel's will. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, all right, this is a little picture I pulled up of what you guys would consider a UFO, all right, or a UAP, which we know it to be biblically a chariot, all right, of Yahawah Wa Yahwashi. Okay, so this is how they look now. The brothers, especially the GMS Chicago camp, all right, the brothers will let you know that they don't just come in this shape. All right. The brothers have videos of them showing themselves and manifesting themselves in all different types of shapes, forms, sizes, and stuff like that. All right. So, because a person will ask, are they all like that? And the answer is no. As I said, there's a lot of videos that have surfaced, not just from the brothers, not just from the camps, but also individuals who were able to capture these beautiful celestial beings on film, all right, on their actual cell phone. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I just wanted to bring that out. Okay, so let's start in the book of Ezekiel. All right, and just give me some thumbs up if I'm still clear, if everybody can see the screen okay before I continue, just to let me know. All right. Should be good. All right. Yeah, we should be good. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 1. All right. As you guys can see, the vision of the four figures, right? It says, now it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Shabar, that the heavens were open, and I saw visions of the Most High. And in the 5th day of the month, all right, which was the 5th year of King Joshua's captivity, the word of the Lord Yahawah came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzai, in the land of the Chaldeans, by the river of Kabar, and the hand of the Yahawah was there upon him. Verse 4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, right? And a fire enfolding itself, okay? And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber. All right. So two to three things we have to keep in mind within this actual verse here. All right. 1, a great cloud. All right. 2, a fire enfolding itself. And 3, in the midst of it was the color of amber. Okay. Out of the midst of the fire. All right. So that's the actual color of it. Verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. All right. And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass, giving you the actual visage, which means how they actually looked in appearance. All right. If you can picture sparkles of the color of burnished brass. All right. And if you don't know what burnished brass is by now, all right, just Google the image of burnished brass. All right. And it says here in verse 8, and they had the hands of a man under the wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. All right. Verse 9, it says their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went everyone straight forward. All right. So imagine whichever way they, would turn, that would go that way. So they would just sink. All right. It doesn't matter which way they turn. If they turn left, they go that way. Right. It says here, verse 10, as for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. They 4 also had the face of an eagle. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of everyone were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. And they went everyone straight forward, whither the spirit was to go. They went, and they turned not when they went. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, right? So once again, going back to what was that, verse 4, okay, is breaking down and giving the actual appearance. All right. So in this case, it's saying now to us that their appearance were like burning coals of fire and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. So imagine everywhere the angels will move, you will see that burning light of fire. All right. And we're going to get some videos to show you what Ezekiel is actually breaking down here. All right. Now it says, it goes on to say, verse 14, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. All right. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. So that wheel is describing the actual, what we would call that ship that they're in. Okay. That's that, what they will call so-called UFO. All right. An actual chariot. Now it's going to explain the chariot. Verse 16, it says, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Going back to here, right? So if you're looking, let's just say you happen to be in a mist, all right, or you can just look at pictures. Let's just make it simple. Let's see, we're looking at this picture right now. All right, it looks like a wheel, okay, inside of a wheel. Now, this is probably not the best depiction, but don't worry, because I actually have a video, all right, saved for you brothers and you sincere sisters, describing the actual Ezekiel's wheel. And it's a video from NASA, which they pulled. All right, it was shot on February the 28th or the 29th back in 2020. I actually found the video and I have it ready. All right. So going back to the scriptures, verse 17, it says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. All right. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their wings were full of eyes round about them four. So once again, all right, the eyes is what this is representing. All right. And they look dreadful because of the lights. Okay. All right. And once again, the rings. All right. That's sometimes they're known as, some people I've heard call them the rings of fire, because when they manifest themselves, right, they come in that state, that amber like, right? So yeah, flying saucer. All right. Okay, verse 19, it says, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. All right, so everywhere they went, okay, the actual chariot went with them, as it says that whatever the spirit went, they will go, right? Okay, back to the point. It says, whitherso the spirit was to go, they went, thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. You see that? It's showing you that the angels control, all right, these crafts, all right, known as the chariots. Verse 21, it says, when those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood, and when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right, proving once again the angels are actually inside, all right, these actual chariots, all right, or what people will call UFOs or UAPs. Okay, so Salakia, let me just check, make sure we good. All right, yep, we're good. All right, so let me just put it like this. Yeah, beautiful. All right, so moving forward, now we're going to get to the vision of the glory, right? Verse 22, it says, and the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of a terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. Now, when you understand, okay, there's other pictures, like I said, that you can grasp when you have a look on Google, but when it talks about the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above, it's talking about on top of the actual chariot. And you know how Esau, Edom, when they describe chariots or these UFOs, so-called, right? They'll always have that little crystal ball to showing you that little alien man, right? Man. And not only that, but at the same time, okay, when it talks about that terrible vision, all right, there's actually pictures showing the top of the chariots, and it actually does look like there's a little crystal ball, but you can't actually see in it. All right, and and there was one that I saw when I was looking through the images. I forgot to download it, but it looked pretty cool. Hopefully, I can find it, Lord willing, and I can post it up for you brothers to see. Now it says here, there was as the color of a terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above, and under the firmament, right, were their wings straight, the one toward the other. Everyone had two, which covered on this side, and everyone had two, which covered on that side their bodies, right? It says, and when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of great waters, and the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood and had let down their wings. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it. And I saw the color of amber, okay, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins, even upward, and from the appearance of his loins, even downward. I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about. As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about it. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of Yahawah. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. All right. So now going back to Ezekiel chapter 1 at verse 16, where it talks about how Ezekiel saw that there was a wheel in the middle of a wheel. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring your attentions to a video here. All right. And this is a video shot by a brother, which his page is called The Hidden Underbelly 2.0. All right. And he does a lot of things pertaining to what's going on in space and so forth like that. So let's take a listen. And before we do that, let me just check my sound really quickly. All right. Make sure we're good. All right. Yep. All right. All right. We're good to go. Beautiful. So now let's play this video. I'll just do a full screen so you guys can see. All right. And we're going to see that same image that the prophet Ezekiel broke down. Okay. Or what people will call Ezekiel's will. All right. A will inside of a will.
2020. Stereo A, one of the cameras that observes the sun, caught this interesting craft in our solar system. Now, the footage was only 4 seconds long before the cameras malfunctioned, and then guess what? Started working after this thing passed. But please, take a look at this. This is pretty spectacular. Now, guys, this one has to have the wow factor to it. I mean, if you just look at the very size of this thing is huge. You can see the planets lining up still next to it, Venus, Earth, Mercury, and this thing is bigger than them. But it's all a perception of distance. This thing could be further away. And if it's further away, this is a really huge ship.
Now, you see it right there, right? You see it looks like a circle, and then it looks like a wheel, and then it looks like another wheel inside of a wheel. Okay. This is what we believe through the faith, spirit, and power of Yahawah Yahawashi. This is a wheel. This is a chariot. All right. This will be what Ezekiel saw. That's why he described it in verse 16, a wheel within a wheel. Let me take it back a little bit so you guys can see that again.
And if it's further away, this is a really huge ship. And if it's closer, then it's small, but there's something there. It's big. Still big enough to put a few people in. But this thing here, I mean, you can tell this doesn't look like our space station. No way. It doesn't look like any satellite that I have seen up in the sky.
Right.
I mean, this thing, to be honest, when I first saw the footage, I thought of Ezekiel's wheel.
You heard what he said when he first saw the footage, which clearly everybody, all right, majority of the people, I shouldn't say everybody, but majority of the people who read the scriptures and believe, when they view something like this for the first time, that's exactly what they will also allude to is Ezekiel's will, all right?
And that's what came into my mind. And I did look at the pictures of it, and it's very similar. This circle with the cross within it. But, you know, look at this video, man, and look at the footage and make of it what you will. But I think this one is pretty spectacular, and NASA's going to have some explaining for this one. So enjoy. Until next time.
And if anybody's wondering what NASA's statement was, all right, there was a man, there's a man by the name of who goes by the name on his YouTube channel, Dabu7, which is also a very diligent individual who brings out a lot of information that's going on around the world, especially in the US. And he went on record of saying, because his video, which I actually have, he has the actual footage, the real footage that was on the NASA website, where they actually show you, all right, this chariot, but then they cut it, all right? They cut it straight away, and they put up, when you try to go back and view on NASA's website that same date, February 29, 2020, you'll see the image, but you will not see this image of that chariot. They cut it. So those people who were lucky, all right, to grab this video and put it up, count yourself lucky, all right? Because when you try to go on the actual website, they've taken it completely down. I wonder why. And also, let me also add that when they discovered this through the camera lens, it was said this particular chariot was the mother of all ships. It was so vast and big that it was estimated to be the size of 2 to 3 planets of Venus. All right. And this came out by one of the people that somewhere in Rome. All right. Because when they have a huge satellite in Rome, I forget what they call it. And they also was able to pick this up. The images was sent to them in Rome, and one of the I guess one of the foremen within that institution, he actually came out on record and said when they ran the numbers that they called it the mother of all ships. All right. So, you know, I know for myself when I first saw this, all right, this was a huge boost of faith. All right. A huge boost of faith, man. And I'll pause it there, and y'all can see there clearly, right? You can see that clearly, all right? Looks like, you know, same thing with Prophet Ezekiel, all right, described, right? So let's get out of that, all right? And yeah, there it is. You guys can look this up, all right? The channel is called The Hidden Underbelly 2.0, or you can just type in Ezekiel's will NASA, all right? And hopefully this video will come up on the channel so you guys can go back and view it on your own, right? So let's go back. Now that we're done with that, all right. Now there's another account precept pertaining to the chariots when we were being exited out of Egypt, right? And let's start at verse 17. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 17. It says, and it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, Salakia, that the Most High led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near, for the Most High said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But the Most High led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And Yahawah went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. So obviously, okay, this is talking about one of those chariots, okay, because we just read in Ezekiel how Ezekiel broke it down. All right, he saw a chariot, all right, and its appearance was likened unto the color of amber, all right, which when you look at fire represents or not represents, but it gives off that representation of the color amber at times, right? So it says here in verse 22, he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of the fire by night, because when we were being led through the wilderness, it was a chariot, all right, and the chariot lit up, and that's how we were able to make our way, all right, at nighttime in the wilderness through that desert, all right. So let's grab the next precept. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 68, all right, and verse 17, straight to the point. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, right? Even thousands of angels. You see that? The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. All right. That's why I read Exodus, the 13th chapter, when Yahawah had led us, all right, using his chariot. All right. All right. So, all right. Next precept. All right. Psalms chapter 104 and verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire? You see that? So the chariots, okay, they're known, all right, not just chariots, but they come in the form of clouds. This is why they can maneuver, they can hide themselves. And if you guys seen the video that I posted up on TikTok for my live event, you would have saw how the man was filming that thunderstorm and the lightning, right? And then he actually saw where he described a spaceship in a background that was in the image of a circle, right? That was a chariot. Okay, that's what was being broken down in this scripture. All right. Let's read it again. Psalms 104 and 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? All right. So these chariots, all right, the angels, all right, they can what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? They can pretty much manifest themselves in and out through clouds. Now, there was also another video that I put up on my TikTok page where I was actually in my kitchen and I looked out the window and I saw this cloud, and it looks like it was a vape at first, but then it manifested itself into a full cloud, and then it stayed there. I kept recording, and then it just vanished away. I believe through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, that was a chariot manifesting itself, right? All right, so let's moving on. Psalms chapter 18 and verse 10. It says, and he rode upon a cherub and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. Okay, and we know based off the few precepts we gotten already, this is describing the chariot. All right, because the chariots, all right, when you look up that word cherub, which we want to look up,
Strong's H3742, Keruv.
All right. All right, a cherubim or a cherub, an angelic being, as guardians of Eden, as flanking the Most High's throne, as the image form hovering over the Ark of the Covenant, as the chariot of Yahawah. You see that? As the chariot of Yahawah. Okay, so these are the chariots, right? Going back. So now let's take our attentions to the book of 2 Kings chapter 2, all right, which is one of my favorite scriptures dealing with the chariots and always gives me a boost of faith. All right. And when dealing with Elijah and Elisha. All right. And we're going to start at verse Salakia. Let's see. We'll start at verse 9. It says, and it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I should do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. Verse 10. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. Verse 11. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire. All right. So once again, this beautiful entity thing right here. All right. The angels. All right. The chariot. Right. Salakia. All right. It says there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire. Okay. And parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into the heaven. Okay, so this chariot, all right, came down upon Elijah and Elisha, and it took Elijah up into the heavens. All right, same thing like how it took our big brother Yahawashi when you get the book of Acts, the 1st chapter, which I got that precept on hold. Okay, and Elisha saw it, verse 12, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. You see that? And the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in 2 pieces. And he took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. Okay, so because he's seen, as Elijah said, if you see me get taken up, then what you've wished upon me, right, which was Elijah's spirit to be upon Elisha, okay, that should be, he should get that double portion. And that's exactly what happened to Elisha after Elijah was taken up by that chariot. All right. So let's get another precept. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6. And we'll start at verse 15. It says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, at last, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Okay, what was he talking about? And Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahawah, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahawah opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So basically, all right, when he prayed, all right, basically on that mountain, he saw thousands of chariots. Okay, going back to Psalm 68, all right, there be, all right, thousands of angels, right? This is what he saw when Yahawah Yahawashi opened his eyes to see. Okay, and the chariots, they ended up manifesting themselves, right? So let me just do a quick check in the chat room. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody see? All right, let me know in the chat if we're still good. All right, let me see. I'm coming in. Yeah, we're still good. All right. So, okay, Yahawah opened his eyes, all right, and he saw. That's why he said in verse 16, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. All right, Khan, the water for that, brothers, for letting me know. So, this was a faith booster, all right, because as they would get ready to battle, all right, they were afraid, all right. But when Yahawah opened his eyes, okay, he saw the chariots. All right, they were waiting. Okay, so that's always a huge faith booster, right? Okay, let's go to the book of Matthew, the New Testament, verse 20, Salakia, chapter 26 and verse 64. It says, Yahawashi said unto him, thou hast said, nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. All right, going back to what? The chariots. Okay, they're going to go to the chariots, man, right? Because remember, let's grab the next precept. Let's go to Acts chapter 1. All right, as you can see here, it says the Ascension, right? It says, and when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Same thing we read in 2 Kings, the 9th chapter, on how Elijah was taken up. All right, he was taken up through a chariot. Same thing with our big brother Yahawashi. Okay, after he rose from the cross. He came back, okay, broke bread with the disciples, all right, and then he went back up into the heavens, where now he's sitting on the right hand side of Yahawah, waiting, all right, to come back, all right. It says here, verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahawashi, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Right? You guys see that? Which brings me to my next precept. Let's get the book of Revelations. Okay. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. All right. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, Amen. This is talking about Yahawashi, going back to what was expounded upon the disciples in Acts, the 1st chapter. Okay, that's why when the angels told them, in like manner, you're going to see the same Yahawashi that was taken from you. He's going to come back, all right, in his full glory, the same. All right, that's why it says, all right, in the book of Isaiah, I shall not meet thee as a man. Okay, because when big brother Yahawashi comes back, he's going to come back in his full glory and all his power. All right, and he's coming back with the chariots. All right, as well as the prince of Michael. All right, Daniel 12:1. All right, Michael shall stand up for thy children. All right, and we're coming upon that time now, which is known as Jacob's trouble. So let's get our last precept. Okay. All right, Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1, the flying scroll. Okay. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. Okay, because these chariots, all right, they are a curse going forth over the whole planet Earth. Why? Because one, all right, they're dreadful, number one. All right, as Ezekiel said, they're dreadful to look upon. Two, all right, Esau, Edom is bugging the hell out. All right, NASA, all right, even the top elites, they can't do anything about these chariots. All right, this is why we have something that's called under the Freedom of Information Act. This is why NASA recently in the last 2 to 3 years started coming out with this information, because they can no longer hide it. All right, they can no longer hide it. All right, verse 4, it says, I will bring it forth, this curse, the chariots, said the Lord Yahawah of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And we shall all know who this house is representing. It's talking about Babylon the Great, America, Esau, Edom. All right, old virgin daughter of Babylon, Salakia, forgive me. It says, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Right? Because does not the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, on how the wicked, being Esau, Edom, how he has not opened up the houses of his prisoners, roughly paraphrasing. All right. So, you know, this is that curse that's going forth. This is why you see America today. All right. When you Google it, it has the most UFO sightings than any other continent. All right. Or country around the world. Okay, because the bulk of the tribes, the bulk of all 12 tribes is in the Americas, mainly Babylon the Great, America. Okay, so when you actually go and Google UFO sightings around the world, you'll see that America tops any other country around the world. Okay, this is why, you know, this vision was given to Zechariah. Okay, so now that we got an understanding of the chariots, and that you guys, through the few precepts that we were able to bring out, now let's pull a few videos so you guys can see. Now, remember, it was expounded upon through Zechariah that, you know, these chariots are a curse, right? And they shall enter into the house of the thief. Now, this is a video that I was able to get from former President Ronald Reagan. And as you can see here, it's titled President Ronald Reagan on an Alien Threat at the United Nations, right? So let's listen and see, all right, what he says.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
And there's a reason why the scripture says his words were smoother than butter, right? And the reason being is because notice how he threw in that little shot, all right, of the heavenly host, the chariots, but then quickly tries to smooth it out and cover it up the speech by saying there's aliens already amongst us, right? And this is what Esau Edom is known to do, man, all right? Through his trickery, his enchantments, all right? Just nonsense, but y'all heard it there first, right? So the next video that I had lined up here, does everybody remember back around in May in 2020 when former President Trump, all right, sets up Space Force, right? And Unveils says here, Trump unveils Space Force flag. Now, you will have to ask yourself, okay, because you have people that laugh and scoff at us, say you guys are just bugged out. You know, there's no such thing as aliens. It's just a higher form of technology, whatever, whatever. Well, you will have to ask yourself, why does the United States of America have to set up a Space Force? What is out there that you're not telling the people? That's first and foremost. Secondly, okay, why do you need to launch something over space when it's come out of the Pentagon, all right, and also CIA, that even when they investigated these so-called UFOs, because at first they said that they thought Russia or China technology far exceeded any other country's technology in the world. But there's an ex-militant guy that came out and says all of the evidence that they have from vast amount of different pilots around the world, everything that these pilots see up in the skies in terms of the chariots, they are on record of saying there is nobody in the whole planet Earth that has that sort of technology advance on this earth. It has not done so. Whether you be America, whether you be Great Britain, whether you be Russia, whether you be China, no top elite, all right, in the world, and he was on record of saying this, has the technology to pull off what our pilots see in the skies daily, not just once in a blue moon. We're talking daily. All right. So let's have a listen and show you, all right, what these Edomites are up to.
Very, very great honor. It's a great honor. That's a beautiful flag too. Roger, hold that up so they can see. That's really beautiful. Wow. That's a big day. That's a big day.
Can somebody explain the logo? Please. So the delta in the middle is a symbol that the space community has used for years and years and years. The North Star signifies our core value, our guiding light, if you will. And the orbit around.
Now, just a little quick note. Notice he said the North Star symbols their core value, their light. What precept should come to mind? The precept I'm thinking of is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. Lucifer, which goes into the light bearer, all right? Metaphorically speaking of the king of Babylon, right? You see that? Light bearers, right? We own you, Esau.
Around the globe, signifies the space capabilities that fuel our American way of life and our American way of war.
That's great. I'm going to do this for Roger. Here, Roger.
All right, so let me take
Please
that
don't-
back, as you guys can see. All right, take that back a little bit.
The delta in the middle is a symbol that the space community has used for years and years and years. The North Star signifies our core value, our guiding light, if you will. And the orbit around the globe signifies the space capabilities that fuel our American way of life and our American way of war.
That's great. I'm going to do this for Roger. Here,
So,
Roger.
like I said, once again, why do you need a space force? What is out there, all right, in the space, okay, that will make it to where you have to have a space force out there? Okay, I'll leave that for you guys to answer. All right, we know what time it is. Okay, so we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So now let's play a video for the beloved brother Amawana Bad 144. Please subscribe to his channel so that you can be edified. All right, and let's watch. Yep, exactly, brother. Yeah, just like the Tower of Babel, correct. Look at that. And here we see another video inside an airplane. And there's a chariot out there in the window. Broad daylight. They out here, man, manifesting themselves. All right, you see that?
What is that? It's disappeared.
That's crazy. And there you have it. So as you can see, all right, that's just a few examples. All right, let's grab another video. Now, this is a video I found. And basically, I got to stop and say really quickly, I forgot to say this quick disclaimer. All right. Under the copyright section 107, I believe it is. All right. I'm not using any of this footage. All right. For any profitable gain or non-organization or whatever the case may be. All right. Everything that I'm using is for edification purposes. All right. I'm not, making any gains from this or doing anything like that. All right. So, all right, this is only for edification and educational purposes. All right. Now check out this commercial, okay, of this Foot Locker, and it's called the Foot Locker Apocalypse AD, showing you that they know, all right, what's coming. Okay, when you put two and two together, all right, these Idumeans, they actually know what's coming, because if they didn't know, okay, where are they getting these inspirations to be making these sort of commercials, movies, and videos and stuff from, right? So let's take a listen and look at this Foot Locker commercial.
Cities are reeling as the meteor storm, zombie epidemic, and alien encounters continue unabated. Safe to say, this is the best week ever.
What are you doing? Run! It's the week of greatness. What you doing? It's really happening! This is a real thing!
Nah, man. This is the real thing. Are you wearing the new Icon Clash?
I need this in a size 8.
I need a 6.
I need this in 16. I got you.
Not today.
Is it dead?
Clash not dead.
Let me pause that part really quickly. Let's bring it back. I want to show you guys something. All right. Now, remember, we read through the precepts that both Elijah was taken up through the chariot, and Yahawashi was taken up, right? And now we can see visually how this is going to happen, because when the chariots come on the earth with Yahawashi, all right, this is how the elect is going to be gathered up. The same way you see this brother going up, all right, is the exact same way the elect is going to be gathered. All right, let's grab a quick precept if I can. Let's get Matthew chapter 24 really quickly. Precept just came to mind. Matthew 24 and 31, straight to the point. And he, meaning Yahawashi, shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Because why? We're scattered. Okay. We're scattered across the four corners of the earth. All right. So going back to that Foot Locker commercial.
Hell yeah.
Hey, kid, where you headed? You know it's the end of the world, right?
Yeah, but it's the start of week of greatness.
It's the best week ever.
You see that? So yeah. All right. Let's see if I can get that little.
Best week ever. It's the best week ever.
I can't catch it. Hold on. And there you can see right there. All right. 1, 2, 3, little 3 chariots in the background. So look, they know. All right. As I said before, okay, where do you get the inspiration from all of this? All right, to be able to put it in commercials, movies, even TV shows, right? It's showing you that Esau, Edom, he knows what's about to come. And that also goes back to the video I showed you guys yesterday, all right, when I came live on TikTok about how that ex-militant went on record to say throughout the looking glass, all right, their time machine, that they realize that there is nothing that they can do for the inevitable event that's to come, which is Armageddon and the end of the Edomite rulership. They can't do anything. All right. So now it's hopefully it's starting to make sense to you, brothers and sisters, on why you're seeing the way that things are moving around in the earth, why they're moving so swift and fast, right? Also in that same book, let's see here. All right, let's start at Matthew 24 and verse 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." This is why the days are sped up, right? The days may seem to go by a lot quicker. Okay, this man Esau Edom, because his time is running out, so he has to do everything he can. Okay, because he sees the chariots. All right, he understands his time. All right, is at its end, so he has to do everything within his power to speed things up to get his global reset off the market. All right, he has to get it off the ground and get it working on full throttle. All right, but the Heavenly Father Yahawah through his son Yahawashi, they have other plans. All right. And pretty soon, big brother Yahawashi is going to crack the skies with those chariots, man. Right. So let's get one last video and to wrap this lesson up. And as you're watching the video, may I just add, please keep in mind, even going back to what we read pertaining to Psalms, Ezekiel, all right, Elijah, all right, and mainly Ezekiel, on how he described the chariots being of the color of amber light, right? So just keep that in mind.
The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Zechariah 5. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
Wow.
The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
There go that color amber again.
The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
Now it just disappeared. They're disappearing.
They heard us up on the mountain.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, is that your phone? Wait.
Weird.
I can't even get it on the camera. Is that
Beautiful.
your phone? Oh my God, it's elusive. Oh my God, what the hell is that? Oh my God. Oh my God. How do I get that?
3.
Oh shit. You see that?
20.
Oh my God. What's that, Chinese ladders? Oh my God, that's
The
scary.
chariots
Oh
of
my
God are
God.
20,000,
How much you behind?
even thousands of angels.
Hold on,
The
hold
Lord is
on.
among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, there's lots. Some of them are on the corner.
Oh my God, okay, I see something.
Yahawah.
All right, man. There you have it. There you have it. All right, so let's bring it back to me.
Didn't you do that? Why you didn't go to them? Why you didn't go to all your friends and tell all your friends, hey, I ain't gonna speak to y'all at work no more?
All right, Salaki about that. So basically, can y'all hear me? Make sure everybody's good. So basically, all right, in a nutshell, that's pretty much all right. The chariots, man, you know, and as we say time and time again, you know, we have brothers all throughout, okay, all over different parts of the US, all right, and a few brothers outside the US in different countries, all right, who have captured these what they will call phenomenons, right, which we know that to be the chariots, man. So you know, for those who have been doubting and haven't had a, you know, clear indication on how to put it all together, hopefully you guys understand, all right, the true power of Yahawah Yahawashi, man. And this is why we always tell you brothers to have faith, because as, you know, it was expounded upon, all right, to Elisha, there'll be more of them that are with us, all right, than those that are against us. And, you know, at the end of the day, Esau, Edom, he can bring every trick in the bag that he has up his sleeve. It don't matter his technology. It doesn't matter nothing. All right. They know they cannot win against these chariots, against the heavenly hosts. They can't. And the scriptures tells you that they won't. They're going to fail miserably. All right. So that's why it's very important that you wholeheartedly believe, have faith. All right. Don't let your faith waver in these days, because Esau, Edom, all right, he's going to try to do everything he can to try to disrupt your faith, all right, by playing upon your flesh, all right, because when you see things visually, all right, it's easy for you to be in the flesh and then you be more weak in the spirit. That's why when you pray, you should be asking for more faith and courage in these latter days, especially what's about to come upon us, all right. So Yahawah, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to jump back over on TikTok to go live to answer any questions. All right. And we'll call that the after lesson session. All right. And Yahawah, Lord willing, you guys were edified. I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor once again to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom, Shalom.